Hi, I am Tony Daniels, the learning coach with Luke 10. And as most of you know, our vision with Luke 10 is to see a vibrant family of Jesus within reach of every single person on the planet. And we hope to do that by connecting and equipping these leaders. You can call them house church leaders or home church leaders or spiritual moms and dads in the best sense of the word, or facilitators. That's another way to refer to these people who can call forth the image of God in others and in a group setting, even to let God's multifaceted wisdom be known in that group. Or some like to say an ecosystem of grace, to let that have full reign. So if you've been with us for a while, which most of you watching this are on leader teams, so you know some of our lingo and our jargon already, but feel free to contact us if you want any definitions of these words or any other resources that you might need that you don't have. We would be happy to send those on. So I did this presentation at our leader team conference in September 2018. It was just a few weeks ago. And I wanted to share it with you all in this format as well, just in case you weren't able to make the conference. So these are our Luke 10 learning opportunities and a little bit about our philosophy of training that has just come into being in the last few years. So a lot of this is new and has been the result of experimenting over the last several years with different ways of doing things. So what we said at the conference was, I'm not prescribing anything to people, and Luke 10 doesn't want to prescribe rhythms or behaviors to people. We're just experimenting and we're finding ways of being together that actually help us connect to each other and connect to God on a heart-to-heart level. And it's working. So we just share these freely so that if you would like to use them, they're available and you know what is working. So this whole process for us in learning and training ourselves begins with the Lord ekballoing us out, meaning really he kind of pushes us out of the nest and pushes us into the harvest to become harvesters. So that's where all of this begins, is with him. And when people come to us, so we pray this prayer that God send laborers, and he does. And when these laborers come to us, our deepest desire is to help them connect with God and listen to him and connect to community, heart to heart. So we're relentless about that. And every single thing that we do, and I'm sorry, connect is spelled wrong. Every single thing we do will be to either remove what hinders us from listening, to strengthen the skills that you need to listen well, or to provide community structures or practices so that you can connect and listen better. So when we talk about removing what hinders, we're looking at mental models, wrong understandings, shame and trauma, to name a few. When we talk about strengthening skills, we're strengthening specifically relational skills. So joy, quieting, appreciation, family bonds. These are just a few of those 19 relational brain skills that you'll hear us talking about. And then provide structures. Some of the structures that we will provide in our training are Church of Two, for example, or Church of Few, if you've heard the COFFEE acronym, Church of Few for everyone, everywhere. And communities of practice, divine governance that you'll learn about more as you go on in Leader 101. And then just facilitation tools. So these are all structures that we're hoping that will help people connect on a heart-to-heart level and with God in an easier way. So once people have been ekballoed out, they make contact with us somehow or some other organization, and they usually do it through the website. So this past year, we've had 126 inquirers into the Church 101 course. So out of those people, what happens next? When they hit the website and they sign up for Church 101, they get invited to an intro to Church 101 coaching call or an intro to Luke 10 coaching call. If you haven't been through one of these yet, it's a 90-minute Zoom call with a Luke 10 facilitator. And this facilitator highlights the Luke 10's mission and vision and how Church 101 fits into that big picture. But they also ask some very key questions that the participants get to listen on so that they can discover, is this their next step? And if so, what is their heart motivation in order to give themselves wholeheartedly to Church 101. Because we really don't want people going through Church 101 halfway engaged, because that's almost like getting a vaccination against something, because then you think, oh, it didn't work for me and I'm not really into that, and then they don't really experience the benefits of it. So we want to prepare people and set them up for success by giving them a deep connection to their own heart and their own heart's desire for why they would wholeheartedly engage in that. And that call is actually incredibly successful. So 62 people went through the call, 49% of the inquirers, and 111 ended up going into Church 101, 111%, and completing it. So that means the people that did the call actually liked the call so much they invited friends. So it's incredibly successful. So if you're out there on your own doing Church 101 groups, we highly recommend you implement a type of intro coaching call, and we can talk about how to train you to do that later. After Church 101, after the intro call, we go to Facilitator Church 101 groups. And most of you have experienced that. It's the 5-week course focusing on training people to be churches of 2 or churches of few every single day. So developing those practices of connecting heart to heart with at least one other person as close to daily as possible. Everything else we do is built on this foundation. So that's why this course is so important in what we do. And 69 people this last year completed this course. And these are people that come to us through the internet. So many more people completed the course this year. But those people didn't come to us through the internet. They came to us more organically through people that they know. And so we don't track all of those people. We're only tracking right now currently the people that come to us off the internet. So after they do a Facilitated Church 101 course, then the next step is a leader team. But we were discovering that people weren't easily going into leader teams. It was almost as if they were confused about what they were. They were confused about what leader meant as well, because most people coming out of conventional church settings felt like a leader was someone who had some type of responsibility, like they were head over the family ministry or head over children's ministry or head over women's ministry. And so they were leading a ministry like that. And really for us, a leader is someone who wants to lead themselves well first, and they want to lead their family first. So a leader for us is someone who says, I want to be a church of 2 as close to daily as possible. I want to connect with Jesus and others on a heart-to-heart level. That's amazingly true leadership, genuine and authentic. So we're reframing a little bit what a leader is. And then we're saying that also a leader for us doesn't mean you leave your ministry or your context and you serve Luke 10 in leadership. No, it means that we just want to equip you to lead wherever you are. So if you already have a ministry or you already have a focus that you're working on in wherever you are, we want our leader team serve to empower you and to give you the training that you need to do that well. So again, we're not pulling people out of what they're already doing. We're trying to bless and equip them to do what they already do much better. So people weren't going into those leader teams, and we discovered it was for those reasons. They weren't understanding what they were or why they existed. And so we created an intro to leader team coaching call. And it can stand alone for people who've gone through Church 101 a long time ago and are just now hearing about leader teams. But it also can become the rounds that you use when you hit lesson 5 in Church 101. And that's becoming very, very effective. So we've been trying this just for the last 3 months. We're now in September 2018. So we tried it just since May. And what we found, the coaching call, it's to help them know if leader teams is their next step or not, and what their heart motivation is to wholeheartedly engage. Again, that wholehearted engagement is so important to us. And the results is that 100% of all who've gone through this type of coaching call have joined a leader team. It's just amazing, really. So we're finding that this is incredibly effective. So before, only 21% were going on to leader teams from Church 101. Leader teams, all of you are on a leader team almost for watching this video. So You know what they are, our communities of practice, where we gather and train ourselves and we get to listen together in community. And the results to that this year, 30% of those finishing Church 101 entered into a leader team. So that 100% over the last few months has brought the 21 up to 30, and it will continue to go up, I'm sure, over the next few months. And these stats are already old. So Luke 10, that we know of, because we're having a hard time tracking all of you out there. But about now we have about 30 and then 30 leader teams, but we have several birthing this month. So we're probably about at 35 leader teams. And these are Luke 10 leader teams. These are leader teams who say, you know what, we practice the way Luke 10 suggests that we practice. And you'll learn more about that later. But then we have a whole ton of partnering groups out there. And there's actually over 50 now. So we're up to over 100 leader teams that are either Luke 10 or partnering, meaning that they're practicing some variation of the Luke 10 rhythms. So that's exciting to see. We love partnership, and we can't wait to see that exponentially grow as more partnerships are formed. So once you are in a leader team, and this is where we are now, we're finding that people are almost ready to branch out on their own and start facilitating Church 101 groups and start facilitating leader teams. But they're just a little nervous still. They don't feel like that they have the confidence that they need to do that. So we have started an experiment just this month called Listed Facilitator, becoming a listed facilitator. So what is a listed facilitator? Well, a listed facilitator is one who has participated in a direct hands-on training and debriefing process with another Luke 10 facilitator. So why would we want to do this? Really, it's to assure that we're offering and receiving consistent quality training organization-wide. So we want to make sure you're getting high level quality of training that you want, and that you're also giving that same level of training throughout the organization. The benefits of being listed are that you get an opportunity to train 10-2B answers if you want to. So the more people that come to us off the internet, and these are people that are starving for how to be church in this way, and it's exciting to see them come and to be able to train people that are so ready for this. So once you're listed, you will be able to train the people that are coming to us off the internet. So that's exciting. But some people might not want to do that because they're already overwhelmed in their own ministry context with a lot of 10-2B answers. So that's fine too. You don't have to take anyone off the internet for Luke 10 at all, because again, we're here to supply you with the equipping that you need to do what God's called you to do. So why would becoming listed be beneficial for you? It would help you become more confident and feel more qualified to do what you're doing. Most of us in ministry never had an opportunity to facilitate and have someone debrief us or have our peers debrief us. And it is a beautiful opportunity to see what strengths we carry and what strength we bring when we facilitate, and to get feedback on potentially anything that we do that might hinder people from fully engaging. So it's a beautiful opportunity to feel more confident and more qualified. And also, it can give you more credibility, possibly in the sphere you're working in, depending on where that is. So soon, when we redo our website, we'll have everyone who is a listed facilitator listed on the website. And that just shows people that you have gone through a hands-on training where you've had direct feedback on your facilitation skills. So that might be helpful for people in depending on the context they're in. The steps for becoming listed are pretty simple. You observe and then you debrief what you've observed, right? Then you facilitate that same thing, and then you get debriefed on that by your mentor, and sometimes with peer feedback, depending on what thing you're facilitating. And then as you step out on your own, you continue to get mentored through that. And so it's just a beautiful process where you get everything you need. So those are the Luke 10 learning opportunities at this point, and we hope that you get to engage at the level you want to engage and find the training that's just right for you during all of this. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or anyone on the training circle, Kathy Mel and Lisa Pinkham, or anyone else in Luke 10. Thanks so much. Take care.